Hello. Feeling very strange this morning. Very, very strange. I woke up feeling a bit like a drunk sailor with lots of really wacky dreams, and from speaking to other people, it seems that other people had a really strange sleep last night. So, I've come in today, unprepared as usual. So I'm just going to sit for a minute, and I'm thinking it's Monday and a lot of people are going back to work today. So if you're watching and you're wondering how your week's going to go, maybe you want to just sit for a second, just take a few deep breaths with me. And don't forget to breathe into your stomach as well. A lot of people don't breathe into their stomach, especially if you're anxious. We tend to breathe up here. We don't fill our space. And don't we all deserve to take up space in this world? Do you feel that you deserve to take up space? I know that a lot of people actually, when they think about it, don't realise they don't feel that they deserve to take up space. I did a public speaking workshop last year, and it was a full weekend. We had to do a lot of scary things. We had to stand up in front of people, and we had to, sometimes we had to express how we were feeling, what was going on for us. We had to do one thing where we had to walk down the middle of the room while everybody else stood to the side. And we had to put our arms outstretched. And it was all about taking up space in the world and feeling the energy of how we take up space. Do we feel comfortable being here? Do we feel deserving of and worthy of being on planet Earth? Because a lot of us have had quite difficult childhoods. And if you have had trauma of any type, or any type of abuse or a psychological stress when you were a child, you may have been given the impression, even if you didn't realise it as an adult, unconsciously, that you weren't allowed to have space in this world. Now, I was shown from an early age that I didn't really exist, that I was invisible. And you may have experienced this, where parents or primary caregivers may ignore you when you're a really young child, and sometimes people turn and face walls, or I had that, and ignore you so clearly that when you're a child you interpret it as, well, the primary caregiver doesn't acknowledge that I exist. So if they don't acknowledge that I exist, then I don't exist. And sometimes that can be the reason that we struggle in life. That can be the reason why we find it hard to put our work out into the world, or put our passions out there and have them seen. I wrote in my book, When Everyone Shines But You, that there could be an artist out there, for example, who's a fantastic artist. Maybe she paints the most beautiful oil paintings that are so accurate and phenomenal to look at. And alongside her is another artist who does very abstract and maybe just paints a black dot on one big white piece of paper. Now, if that person didn't feel like they deserved to take up space in the world, what would happen is the artist with the greatest gifts would not be seen. She or he may feel like they don't exist on some level, so the world doesn't actually see their gifts and skills and talents. And that other artist that painted that black dot on that large piece of paper may have been brought up with the belief that they do exist, that they are worthy, and they were encouraged from a very young age to develop their skills. Perhaps their parents really wanted them to shine. And because of that, this really simple piece of art was seen by millions and really visible, and that person did really well in life. Now, if you're anything like me and you've had that experience, you might feel really frustrated, and you may feel like you've got to a certain stage in your life that you've tried so hard to put yourself out there, to put your light out there, and you get to the point where you want to give up. But I want you to know that you don't need to give up. There are ways of finding in yourself the space to exist. It starts with giving yourself the attention that you wanted, and for me recently I just started looking in the mirror, and I don't do affirmations, but I just looked at myself and I said, you exist, you matter, you are of value, you are worthy, you are important. And it's really important to find out what it is that you didn't receive and begin to give it yourself. It's like going caving. You really need to go caving and find out what jewels are lying inside of you that you may have missed. And ask yourself, where is it? What is it in me that I am not giving me? For example, I'm 42. I'm just going to say hello to a few people. Hi Sheila, hi Sandra, hi Rona. Now I'm 42 this year, and I've written 2 books. I've been writing a blog for about 11 years. Recently started a podcast. Now I'm co-producing a radio station, and it's still a struggle for me to realise that I exist and that I'm here for a reason. But I've started now to ask myself, what is it I need to do? What can I give myself now? And I realised that right now is all that I need. And I was thinking about the new station. I was thinking, I want to get more and more people to see it. And then I realised I was focused on the goal again. And sometimes we do that too much. And if we think that it's not working out, or anything we're doing is not working out, and we focus primarily on that, we get lost. So I started to realise that sometimes in life we've just got to see ourselves as a farmer. It was something that came to me. I was talking to my friend Michael, and I thought, yes, I'm a farmer right now. And if you've got a goal or a passion you want to get out into the world, and you're not seeing any results in any way, shape or form, like that artist, start to not look to see how many people are seeing what you're doing, but start to just put the work in, put your energy into it, put your love into it. Just like a farmer, you're planting crops, you're ploughing your fields, you're just getting ready for the harvest, but you're not focused on the harvest. You're just focused on taking up space right now, doing what needs to be done on your passions, on your light, and then keep bringing the attention back to you. What is it in you that needs to take up more space in this world? Is it possible you've been taking up a lot less space because you've been taught to take less space by your parents or your caregivers or your peers? I know I'm overcoming from anxiety right now, and sometimes anxiety makes you feel like you don't want to take up space in the world and you want to hide. But I realised over time that we can't hide from anxiety. We have to really feel what we're feeling, be it depression, anxiety, whatever you're feeling. Because anxiety to me is we're afraid of what could happen. So we're really focused on the future. And now I'm realising I've got to just be here and start ploughing my fields or planting my crops like a farmer. So those that you are watching, how much space do you take up in this world? How much space do you feel you deserve to take up in this world? Are you not taking enough? Is it time to stretch outside of your limited boundaries, outside of your comfort zone, and do what I did? When I did that and I had to walk down this very large room with the people from my public speaking course all lined up along the side, and I had to walk proudly. And we also had to say, I am beautiful, or I am enough. I think I shouted, I am enough. And the feeling was so strange. And some of the people on my course, one woman actually, she cried because she didn't realise that she was deserving of taking up space in this world. I get quite emotional about that because it really resonated with me on the day, because I also felt the same. So when you're sitting here now or standing, feel your chair, feel your body, feel the room, and not just physically, feel the energy around you. Do you feel like you're allowing yourself to fill the space? And does the space need to be larger for you now? Perhaps you've been wandering around in shoes that no longer fit, and it's time to try on new shoes. Well, this video, I didn't expect what was coming whatsoever, so that's all I'm going to say for today. I'm going to have my morning coffee, and I don't feel so much like a drunk sailor now after my wacky dreams. Thank you for watching, Carrie, Rona, Sheila, Sandra, and everybody else that's watching on the replay. And I'll speak to you all again soon on Monday at 10 AM London time. Thanks everyone, bye!